Did you think building a profitable sales funnel would be easy? Because I did, and I built 814 sales funnels and eventually generated over $40 million in online sales. But man, it was a grind. And I wish I'd known how to do it smarter to get quicker results. And so to help you create a highly profitable sales funnel as soon as possible, here are the 10 things I learned that will help you get more consistent leads and generate more predictable revenue. So with that, this first lesson is mandatory as it helped clients like Jim generate $250,000 in his first year with his sales funnel. I once got on a strategy call with a brand new client who'd already spent $5,000 on ads and had almost nothing to show for it. About $1,000 back from the $5,000 investment. Within 5 minutes of looking through their funnel, the issue was obvious. They were sending traffic straight into their process without capturing any details first. If someone didn't buy immediately, then they were gone forever. So as soon as I noticed that, I told them to add a simple step at the beginning of their funnel to capture name, email, and phone number. That one change meant that every visitor became an asset, and over time, that $5,000 in ad spend turned into $20,000 in revenue. So here's an example of what I'm saying. Rather than sending traffic to a page like this where I'm offering a free strategy session, if people come here, they don't like the video, they're gone forever. So instead, I'm going to put a simple page like this in front of it that captures the email address to access the video, and then on the next page, they'll land here. If they like the video, they take the next action. If they don't, I can follow up. So lesson 1 is lead capture, and it's vital. If you don't capture leads, you are relying on one-shot traffic, and it's impossible to scale. So always be capturing details at the start of your funnel so you're building this asset that you can monetize again and again. And by the way, I put an incredible bundle of frameworks together that my clients and I have used to generate over 140 million in online sales. And included in the bundle is a cheat sheet that breaks down a funnel that we've used to generate high ticket clients every single day. Just click the link in the description or the top comment and you can grab that. All right, so lesson 2. Most businesses don't actually understand the difference between a website and a sales funnel, and it's costing them a fortune. They believe that if they want customers and clients, they have to build a website first, so they spend months on it, tens of thousands paying an agency, and hopefully people will start visiting. So here's my website, for example, and the problem is most visitors are just clicking around, consuming a bit of information, and then they leave. Nothing happens. So the business assumes that the issue is traffic and tries to drive even more traffic to the site, but results don't improve. And so the lesson here is to understand that a website is built for browsing, not conversion. A sales funnel, on the other hand, is designed to lead someone from one action to another, much like this page here. This is for our AdCon virtual launch party. And so people land on this page, there is one thing and one thing only for them to do, and that is to click this button to register for the launch party. Then they'll be sent to the next page with further details on the next thing to do. That is the difference between a sales funnel and a website. Right, lesson 3, I'm going to need a whiteboard for this one. Have you ever been on a date where at the end of dinner, the other person asks you to marry them? Of course not, because doing that would be like meeting them on the first date and them asking you for the end result straight away. And you would probably think they're a weirdo and run for the hills. But that's exactly what I see so many businesses doing online. They run ads to their funnel or build an audience, then immediately ask for the huge commitment on page 1. Book a call, buy now, join a 12K program, and then wonder why nothing converts. People don't buy when they're rushed. They buy when momentum is built and trust is created. So lesson 3 is ensuring that in your sales funnel, you have what we call micro commitments, smaller things that you're asking them to do that increase your chances of them getting all the way to the very end and taking the big action. So start small, build trust, and let the relationship that you're building and the micro commitments do the heavy lifting. Lesson 4, whenever things weren't going to plan in my business, my instinct was the same, and maybe it sounds familiar, I would be adding more. If this is me, and what I'm currently trying to work on. If this didn't work, I'm going to add something else. I'm going to add more funnels, more offers, more traffic sources, more strategies in an attempt to grow my business. And the trouble is, 6 months later, I'm working harder. I'm no further closer to the end result. I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I'm constantly asking myself, what else can I add to try and get the result? Eventually, I realized the problem wasn't effort, it was focus. When I stripped everything back and doubled down on one funnel, one offer, one strategy to try and grow my business, sales went up, retention improved, and everything in my business was better. So lesson 4 is complexity doesn't scale, simplicity does. In the beginning, one offer, one message, and one funnel is more than enough to reach 5 or even 6 figures a month. And if you add more, you're just splitting your attention, and nothing great was ever built with less than 100% focus. Lesson 5 will likely ring true with a lot of you watching. I'm a perfectionist, and chances are you are too. I used to spend forever trying trying to make funnels perfect before launching them. Then one of my own clients said something to me once that completely changed the way I approached this. She said to me, if you know the first version is going to suck, then let's get it out the way as quickly as possible. What I realized was that perfectionism was killing my progress. The funnels that I rushed out the door and improved using real data often outperformed the ones that I tried to perfect in my own head before launching. This is by far one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this last decade. So lesson 5 is that it doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to be live. Launch fast, get the data, and improve based on how people actually behave in the sales funnel. I call it the done method. Don't overthink, now execute. Lesson 6. Early in my career, I made the huge mistake of being obsessed with finding the cheapest traffic possible. And it made sense in my head. Lower costs mean better margins, right? But even with cheap traffic, funnels struggle and clients were low quality. Everything changed when I stopped chasing cheap traffic and started prioritizing quality. Even when it cost more on some occasions, results improved across the board. More engagement, more sales, and better clients. Margins were actually better because I was able to land more qualified clients. The easiest way to explain this is imagine you had a bowl of fruit, and at the top of the bowl is the best fruit. It's fresh, it's perfect, everyone wants it. What happens first? That fruit gets picked. What's left at the bottom? The bruised stuff, the fruit that no one wants. Cheap traffic works the same way. By the time you get down there, you're often left trying to convert people that everyone else passed on. When you're willing to pay more for traffic, you're getting first pick of attention. So lesson 6 is that not all traffic is created equal. Cheap traffic doesn't mean good traffic. In fact, it usually means the opposite. Like our client Pascal, your goal should be to build a funnel that is strong enough to justify paying more for higher quality attention. When realizing this, she bit the bullet, spent $1,500 on her ads, and in a matter of weeks had made $18,000 in return. So moving on, lesson 7. In the last 12 months, I wanted to do a test. I have a funnel that's generated tens of millions of dollars and worked incredibly well for years, so I assumed I could take the same funnel and run it to a different audience and get the same result. I was wrong. It completely collapsed and I was left staring at a page full of data and numbers trying to figure out if something had gone horribly wrong, but then I realized the mistake was simple. The new audience didn't know me. What worked for a warm audience failed with a cold one. And so the lesson I learned, and it was a costly one, is that cold and warm audiences need different funnels, different message, different entry point, lower friction. You can't treat strangers the same way you can treat people who already know, like, and trust you. Lesson 8 was also one that I learned during this 12 months of testing while trying to find out which funnel is best. We tested almost every funnel you can imagine. VSLs, which is a video sales letter, challenges, tripwires, quizzes, events. Every time the outcome was the same. Nothing beat the webinar funnel. On average, it generated leads that were 7 times more valuable than anything else we tested. And so the lesson is simple. Webinars are still king. Other funnels can work, but in our experience, nothing consistently outperforms a well-built webinar if you're looking for leverage, scale, and quality leads in the business. And if you want to know exactly what to do, what to say, and exactly how to put together a webinar presentation, there's an entire framework for that in the bundle that I mentioned earlier. Just click the link in the description box or the top comment to grab your copy. Lesson 9. Over the last year, trust has dropped massively. Funnels that used to convert suddenly stopped working due to people's attitude changing online. They were more skeptical and harder to move to action, so we need to react to this and position our funnels differently. But what fixed it wasn't changing the funnel. It was increasing brand visibility, more stories, more proof, more of me behind the brand. As soon as we did that, friction dropped and conversions improved. And so lesson 9 is to keep in mind that funnels don't build trust, brands do. The more your audience buys into you as a person or a company, the easier every funnel becomes over time. Now, lesson 10. Back in 2014, funnels used to be simple. Someone saw an ad, entered a funnel, and purchased. Those were the good old days, but sadly, that's not how people buy anymore. Over and over, clients told me the same story. They saw an ad, checked me out on YouTube, followed me on Instagram, watched content for weeks, then finally purchased after seeing another ad 2 months later. And this is the lesson. Funnels don't convert people in one go. Ecosystems do. The easiest way to understand this is to look at a company like Apple. You don't buy one thing from Apple. You buy the phone, then the Mac, then the AirPods, then the speakers. And the more you're in their ecosystem, the easier every purchase becomes. Your marketing works the same way. YouTube, Instagram, ads, email, they're not separate. They're all touch points pulling someone deeper into your world. Creating this marketing ecosystem is vital to business growth. And so make sure you download my frameworks from the link in the description or the top comment to get an exact walkthrough of how each step of the process works. Now, although all 10 of these things we've discussed today on their own are extremely powerful, and I wish I'd known them before I built my first funnel, if you don't understand the 40,000-foot view of how a sales funnel actually works within your business, then it will all be for nothing. You could have the best sales funnel ever, but if you don't understand what I take you through here, my extended masterclass, then no one will ever see your offer and no one's going to buy your products or your services. So I will see you over here right now.